Hello and welcome to the Exiled Prince, episode 22. Today we are having our much-awaited campaign into the Cannibal Plains. We are going to be killing the Meat Lord. We're going to be killing the Marrow Lord. And we're going to be killing the Grand Wizard. And by killing, I mean we're going to knock them unconscious and imprison them in jail. We're putting him in jail, baby. Here we go. It's jail time. So here is a shot of a cannibal village. This is the closest cannibal village to our northern base that we've been in for the last episode or two. We don't really need to clear out these villages because Kenshi operates on the sort of important NPC. As I've mentioned before, there's sort of essential NPCs that if you kill or capture will alter the state of the towns. And these villages actually, even when we get the leaders, the cannibal villages will stay cannibals. We'll just sort of take their major locations from them. But also, it's the closest village. It's an inaugural battle for our campaign here as we set off to eradicate the leaders of the cannibal tribes and reclaim the lands of the dead cat peoples. So as we enter the Cannibal Plains, I've captured just a little piece of dialogue here where Fiona is shocked that we are approaching the Cannibal Plains, and Burn says, "Ah, yes, the Cannonball Plains," and she's like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, the Cannonball Plains." So then they argue about it. Then Sad Neil says that the cannibals aren't so bad. Then Fiona's like, "Yeah, because you're metal and they won't eat you." So that is a fun little exchange. Just sort of a little glimpse into what Kenshi writing is like. So then we've got, here's a shot of, this is actually none of our people, you might notice. This is some bright red cannibals fighting some dark purple cannibals. That's because one of the other tribes came close to this village, and they're having a little turf war. We're just sitting back and watching. And in the course of we start to fight, and one of our people, I think that's Hiroto. Again, I've slapped them all in identical armor, so who knows? He's in prison. He says, "Get me the fuck out of here." But he's fine. We're gonna kill all the cannibals. Come save him. And what do you know? Here we are. Cannibals wiped out. So easy, I didn't even take an in-progress shot of this fight. Smeared the ground with their blood. It's going to be great. Campaign's going to go fantastic. Here's a shot of Green in the front here. Our crossbowman with the leather jacket has encountered a couple squads of cannibal hunters. Maybe it's one big squad, I'm not sure. But in any case, he's made a donation to their cause. And in exchange, they are going to help us fight some cannibals. Because, that's what they do. That's what we do. We're all on the same side here. So they've got some cool armor, sort of mercenary armor here. Here's a shot, a little nighttime shot. Unfortunately, the Battle of Dead Cat will be taking place during the night. I think the pictures should be okay to see. I brightened one of them a little bit. But, we've got lanterns and stuff. So here's a shot of the Un-Hive in front with their big pack beasts. And behind them is this little pack of cannibal hunters that are joining us. We're on our way, feeling fresh, feeling good. And here this is the picture I've slightly brightened. Here we are attacking the town of Dead Cat. This was the sort of main settlement of the fishers and farmers who lived in this region, and now it is the capital of the cannibals. So here we are, arrayed on a hill, with our crossbowmen shooting. We've got here in the foreground, we've got Green and Perry shooting down into the town. As you can see a little bit in the distance, our heavy soldiers are sprinting into the village. This is where the cannibal Grand Wizard lives, and we're gonna grab him. Here we are in the thick of it. We've got ruined storm houses all around us, surrounded by impromptu, ramshackle cannibal structures. The Un-Hive fighting heavily. carrying injured members so that they don't get grabbed by cannibals, as well as important cannibals so that they can't escape. And we've also got some of our best fighters, our pack beasts. Pack beasts are fucking monsters in this game. They are very tough, very strong, and they can hit a lot of people with one smack. So you can have a big horde of enemies, and a pack beast will just chomp right into them and take out huge swaths of them. Love the pack beasts. I've seen people do builds in this game where they just have their one main character and then like 12 pack beasts, and they just rip everyone to shreds, and it's wild. Here's the Grand Wizard. He's wearing, actually, it's hard to tell because of his wild body paint that he has, but he's wearing holy chest plate, like Holy Nation chest armor, that's been painted with this red and yellow cannibal paint. It's very cool. We're going to be using his armor when he's done because it's too cool. He's fighting, it looks like Fick in the background because he's all spindly and weird. And I don't know who this is to the right. It looks also like someone kind of spindly and not really our best boys that we're putting into close combat with the Grand Wizard of the Cannibal Tribes. But I'm sure they'll manage. We'll probably cheese it by shooting crossbows at him. Here's another shot. We've got a couple more people joining. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually played, so I don't remember who's whom. Except, of course, we've got Burn here, our big, tall robot with his fragment axe. He's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this fight. And here we are, victorious, standing amidst the ruins, not ruins, but amidst the crumpled bodies of the cannibals that we've killed, and the town is ready to be repopulated by its original inhabitants. And we are ready to move on to our next target, which is, I think it's just it's not a named cannibal village, it's just a particularly large one, and that's where the Marrow Lord lives. You'll see at the end that we're going to be bringing the important cannibals to the bastion where the cannibal hunters live, and we're going to be imprisoning them there. It won't get us the bounty that we would get for taking them all the way to like the United Cities, but first off, even cannibals we don't want to sell into slavery in the United Cities. We just on principle don't sell people into slavery. Secondly, that's really far from where we are. And thirdly, I don't know, it feels appropriate to turn them into the cannibal hunters, you know? Cannibal hunters up here in the north doing all the heavy lifting against the encroaching cannibal tribes felt like they should be the ones to imprison the Grand Wizard and the Meat Lord and everyone. I don't remember if we carry them around with us and then turn them all in at once, or if we send a runner to imprison them as we capture them, but in any case, at the end of the episode, we'll have a nice cinematic we'll have a nice cinematic shot of all the cannibal leaders imprisoned. So moving on, we are briefly distracted by a group of streaking bandits that come in and try and attack us. You'll of course remember they've been featured heavily in the last couple of episodes. They're shrieking, swinging their rusty choppers at us. Here is the large village where we will be encountering the Marrow Lord. This one takes place during the daytime, luckily. You can see in the foreground, I think I think what that is we happened to approach this city, or this village, at the same time as a wandering group of Flotsam ninjas, which, if you'll remember, are the cool, they're the cool, like, Holy Nation rebels that we met earlier. So we're going to kind of charge into combat to make sure that they don't get killed or eaten, because we like the Flotsam ninjas very much. I think they're one of the coolest factions in the game. They're one of the ones that are sort of don't really have anything bad. They're the ones you can kind of support without any ethical qualms. And really their only flaw is that, like, they don't really have the resources to do the things that they want to do. But they're really just a plucky group of rebels and refugees, and you gotta love them. So here we are. You can tell, I know it's a kind of zoomed out picture, but you can see our shiny armors as we approach in, and you can also see the the blood streaks of the cannibals that we've fought. This fight is kind of taking place on the outskirts of the village because all the cannibals rush out to fight the Flotsam Ninjas, and then we rush in to fight those cannibals. So all these kind of splattered blood stains is where the bulk of this fight happens. We also send Sakri, who's our best, he's our best boy, but he's our best lockpicker. So we send him in to start breaking out. This is a row of Flotsam Ninjas who've been beaten and captured by the cannibals. So we send him out to bandage them up and pick the locks on their cages. And here's a nice shot of all the Flotsam Ninjas. I believe none of them die. I think we are able to, like, save the lives of all of them. So here they are, limping but intact from the combat. It is a relief, honestly, when it doesn't matter. There's no gameplay reason that you need to save random neutral NPCs that are near you, but it's fun. It's satisfying when you are able to protect a group of, nomads or something that are being attacked by bandits. Here's a nice shot. So the two major places we just captured were in the Cannibal Plains, which was a region next to the Leviathan coast where we were living. But now we have to kind of travel along the northern coast of the continent a little bit to get to, I believe, Darkfinger is the name of the other region, which is a sort of secondary region populated by cannibals, and that is where the first village, it's called, it's not the largest but the oldest cannibal village. So this is a village not that they've captured, I believe, but that they built. I mean, that's where the Meat Lord will live. And so that'll be our sort of final major stop on our cannibal campaign. This will also take us closer to where the cannibal hunters live, so we can turn in our captives. This is sort of, this area we're passing now is just north of the border of the Holy Nation. The Holy Nation lives in this kind of mountainous, not always mountainous, but it's these mountains and like trees, and it's a very interesting region. We're also going to pay a quick visit to the base of the Flotsam Ninjas. I don't have an exterior shot of the base because we have visited there before. But here is Perry. We sent in Perry because she's probably, as a Scorchlander, she's sort of the most similar and safe face to the Flotsam Ninjas. And this person who's saying, "Don't let me down, sister," this is Maul, who is the leader of the Flotsam Ninjas. We have officially allied with the Flotsam Ninjas, which also makes us formally hostile to the Holy Nation. The Holy Nation would always have attacked us on sight because we are full of robots and non-humans, and it's a whole mess. But that would have just been because we were neutral and heretical looking. Now we are actually known to the Holy Nation and are known to be hostile to them. So we are officially enemies of the Holy Nation. I haven't played Kenshi in a while because I'm kind of waiting for this to catch up to where I am. And we're getting pretty close. We've got to kind of get through this cannibal part, our journey back to our original base, and then kind of building up that base. But after that, we'll have caught up to where I am, and I'm going to start playing again, and that is when we're going to go against the Holy Nation, which I'm personally very excited for. Taking down the Holy Nation is probably the most fun thing, I think, to do in Kenshi, other than building bases. Love building bases. I'm going to build bases everywhere, all the time. But taking down the Holy Nation is very fun, because they're assholes. So we've allied with them, and here is a peaceful high-up shot of the first village. It's pretty simple compared to like Dead Cat or that other village that we fought. But, it's full of the Blood Butcher tribe, which is the mod that I had. In the vanilla game, the cannibals are all one big tribe, but this one splits them into 4 tribes, which is why we saw that turf war earlier. There's another mod that expands them, like fleshes them out a little bit more. Fleshes. But I didn't want to deal with the compatibility with the other mods that I had, so we're just using Kaizo. Here's the first village, and we're going to send in the cannibal hunters first, not as meat shields. We're not sending them as meat shields. It's because they use crossbows, and so we want to get a nice line of crossbows first. Here they are in the foreground, while with our crossbows, while Fiona and Scree and some of our other folks charge in to the village. And here is another shot where we're really kind of in the full swing of things. Very easy to pick out the cannibals because they're, bright red and don't blend into the background like we do. But we make short order of this fight. Here's their cages. I think it's interesting personally that this village has the normal metal cages that you see in, any normal city or that you can build in your own city, and not the kind of spiky cannibal cages that all the other villages have had. I don't think there's anything to read into there, but it's just an interesting little detail. I don't remember if this is the meat. So all the cannibal leaders have also named kind of bodyguard characters. I don't remember if this is the meat lord or one of his goons. But you can see he's fucking massive. This is an absolute unit of a cannibal. And we're gonna kill him or beat him up. Most of the fights in Kenshi aren't you killing people outright. It's more you beating them up and then leaving them for dead because of how Kenshi's bleeding and wound system works. It's actually kind of difficult to just sort of kill people outright without upping the settings. And so we'll just sort of leave everyone to die. It's kind of gruesome, but I don't know. It feels somehow more gruesome to wait around for them to regain consciousness and then continue to beat them back into consciousness until eventually they take enough damage that they die. I don't know. But here we are. We're victorious. We've soaked their lands in blood. So gore warning on this episode, I guess. You can see Burn and whoever that is on the left carrying. You see a couple people have cannibals slung over their shoulders because we're going to carry those over to Bastion and turn them in to... I don't remember the name of the leader of the cannibal hunters. He's some guy. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. I do love popping text onto the screen that I've forgotten while I'm recording, so, there's that. Moving on, what else do I have? Hey, here we are. Here's a close-up of Jafar standing with our captives. We've got some of them in the cages in the back, and we've got... I think I put the big three in here. I think this is the Meat Lord, the Grand Wizard, and the Marrow Lord, but who's to say? It's hard to tell without their cool armor on. And then here is our final picture of the episode, which is just a nice shot of us in Bastion. Or not us, it's just Jafar. But all our enemies arrayed in cages. We've had a successful run. I know the way I described the beginning of the run might have sounded like I was ironically setting us up for some sort of horrific failure, but I wasn't. We are victorious. We are powerful. All our planning was good. We did good. Almost surprisingly well. I was kind of like, wow, we really steamrolled them. So we'll see if we can find something to bite off a little more than we can chew. We'll campaign through the Holy Nation. Maybe venture down into the Ashlands if we really want to get our ass kicked, or into the east and befriend the Crab Raiders and fight the Skin Bandits. And there's lots to do. It feels like I've done a lot, but honestly, there's tons to do still. Tons to explore, tons to fight, tons to build. It'll be great. So as always, thanks for sticking around if you have, and you will hear me in the next one.